Well, everyone, I just can't have a day off, can I? Welcome to Leeds Art Gallery. I'm having a bit of a day out, a bit of a break with the mother. Decided to come to my, obviously, favourite place, Leeds City Centre. Just sat outside Friends of Ham, nice Aperol spritz. Geezer here with a lovely Leeds top on. Big fan of that smiley badge, one of the old boys. But listen, it's not the best scenario that I'm coming on here. But I'm going to speak about it. Now listen, there's been a lot, bizarrely, the last couple of days, there's been a few bits coming out about Galatasaray, the club who should not be named, regarding Leeds fans, and I think the context to be applied with this is absolutely massive. There's two instances now. Now, if you aren't aware of what happened in Istanbul on a horrendous night for the club, Champions League semi-final, Chris Loftus and Kevin Spate, two Leeds fans, lost their lives tragically, and it still scorns us all, scorns the club. Is a dark, dark period in the club's history. And Leeds fans, me, my dad, everyone, my uncle, everybody is very, very sensitive about it, understandably. And we've had a couple of instances the last 2 days, really. Now, let me explain to you what they've been. Rio Ferdinand, an ex-servant for the club, if you want to call him that, 2 years at Leeds United from 2000 to 2002, which was obviously when Leeds United was within the period that Leeds United competed for the Champions League, and obviously we had our bout with Galatasaray. Believe he joined the club in and around that period. There's some people saying he joined 7 months afterwards. I can't specifically know exactly when he joined, but telling me on Google that he joined in November 2000, if it's testing my memory. I had to test it, so I played it out on Google, November 2000. And then yesterday, unfortunately, I'm not going to put it on screen because I think it's a bit sensitive and I think it might upset a few. You'll have seen it if you're not blind, but he was clearly in a barber shop and he was Galatasaray on screen and he was saying Gala, Gala, Gala. Now, look, there's ways of looking around this. He's 100% aware, and you can do a simple Google search, and he's more than aware of what happened on that horrendous night. In Istanbul, and it's just a little bit of care, it's a little bit of sensitivity. We know with Rio, sometimes there's a few chromosomes missing, and you just have to have a little bit of a think, Ferdinand, have a little bit of a think before you put these things out, because you did used to play for the club. Nigel Martin has said previously, if you go there, if you reference it, if you support it, Martin's been out on podcasts, he's said it in publications, that you should have your head testing, basically, and that's obviously referring to Judas, Harry Kewell, who went and played for them and continues to celebrate them on social media and stuff when they achieve bits, maybe not social media anymore, but will publicly come out and say, well done Galatasaray, had a great time at this club, and basically just kind of feeds his own ego with that without understanding the sentiment that Leeds fans who basically Leeds made Harry Kewell. We brought him up. He still doesn't understand in his brain that it's very sensitive for Leeds fans, and it's just respect for the fans that went out to Istanbul that night to support Harry and his teammates, but he doesn't seem to get it up here still. So you kind of move on to Harry Kewell, but when you see that from Ferdinand, we know he made an absolute horrendous move to the red side of Manchester, but he didn't have any real affiliation with Leeds. He was there for 2 years, wanted to move on to better things. Still doesn't seem to process, still doesn't get it in his head why Leeds fans don't like him for making that move. He came back on sort of a BT broadcast, I think when we were in the Premier League, and he was getting loads of abuse. It was when we signed Rodrigo, and I think he was there that weekend covering the Leeds-Chelsea game. I believe it was that period, and he didn't understand. Rio can't get his head around it. I don't know why it's so confusing. So Leeds and Man United don't like each other, arch rivals. We hate them, they hate us. As much as they'll tell you, Rio, that they don't hate us, they sing about us in Madrid, they've sang about us across Europe for 10 to 15 years, and I can tell you, living in the city, they despise Leeds United. So, if you're not aware of it, and you're potentially watching this, there's after nearly 20 years and post-career, your sort of explanation as to, the feeling between the club. But we don't like each other, so you moving there was a problem, even though you kind of got in your feelings a little bit about it. But the Galatasaray Gala thing, whatever he was saying the other day, understandably struck a lot of nerve with Leeds fans. Now, I don't think it was vindictive, I don't think it was purposeful, I don't think he meant it in that way. I think he's not that cold and callous to be able, to put stuff out there like that, which is just horrendous really when you look at it. But what I will say is it's lacking any thought. It's not thinking about what you're doing when you're Rio Ferdinand, which we all know. He still acts like a 50-year-old child on commentary, and he evidently still, acts going about his day-to-day life in a bit of an immature way as well. Because if I'd played for a club even for 2 years and one of the most sensitive tragedies in English football history had happened, and I saw something like that, I wouldn't be glorifying it just coming in a frigging barbershop. So that's number one. Sort yourself out, Rio Ferdinand. Number two is Ethan Ampadu, and this one, I have to say, for me, is a little bit more, I don't know. I get why Leeds fans are upset about it. I completely understand. And if you don't understand the context by it, I think Ethan Ampadu, the club have had to make a statement, but Ethan Ampadu's ex-partner has pictured, who he's had a son with, has put an image on of Ethan Ampadu's son with a Galatasaray shirt on. This has meant that Leeds have had to put a club statement out, which is pretty big. And obviously Leeds know the sensitivity of it, obviously. Leeds have had to put a club statement out basically explaining the situation because it's blown up on social media. The club captain, his son, going around wearing a Galatasaray shirt. Now I get it from a Leeds standpoint of, come on, be a little bit more aware. It's ridiculous. Come on, he should not be wearing a Galatasaray shirt. Apparently, Ethan Ampadu's very well aware of this, according to the club statement. I'm not going to blame Ethan for this. It's ridiculous. He doesn't live with his partner anymore. That's not a thing. And it's not posted from his social media account, so you can't blame Ethan for that. And I'm going to stand by my captain for this. I feel like he is Mr. Leeds United at the minute. There's no way he'd go out and do that. I just don't believe that. I don't believe, he'd be that stupid, like the person that we were just talking about, to be able to do something like that. And the club have addressed it straight away. It wouldn't surprise me if Ethan has probably forced the club to put something out, so it obviously maintains his reputation. He's able to speak to the Leeds United fans through Leeds United. Because if he did that on social media, he'd just get absolutely hammered with abuse. So I'm glad the club have put something out. I'm standing by Ethan here. I don't think there was any malicious intent behind it. It wasn't as callous and cold as we've just attributed maybe to the other man. It's just a mistake of which his former partner, has put a picture up of Ampadu's son in a Galatasaray shirt, which is just, come on, let's think about it now. Even if you're affiliated with Ethan Ampadu, you cannot be doing things like that. And that's maybe where, does Ethan know that his son's got a Galatasaray shirt being his son? You'd expect him to know that. That's kind of, I guess, where we're having a conversation about it, but he might not know as well. There's so many situations that might have happened. It could have been a passed down shirt. I mean, what we're talking about here, Ethan might not be aware. I'm sure he's not aware. And even if he is aware, I can't imagine that he wants his partner to be photographing Ethan in that shirt and putting it on social media. It could have been a hand-me-down. Shirt looked too big for the kid anyway, to be honest, so it could have been anything. And a lot of rumours online are saying that she's Turkish as well, which I can't confirm. But if that is the case, it could have been a family member that passed it down, and Ethan, mate, and Ethan might not have been aware of. So, yeah, listen, everybody, I don't want to. I'm in support of Ethan here. I don't think it was as, what people are saying it is. I think it's a very sensitive topic. The divvy before has made it even more sensitive by being Rio Ferdinand and just being a big man-child who doesn't seem to understand basic things in life. Sensitivity, look, we could go on about Rio Ferdinand as I raise my eyebrow all day. I'm sure we could with some of the things that, anyway, let's move on from that. But I'm in support of Ethan Ampadu. The other guy's an absolute moron. He's an idiot. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. As I say, I don't think he meant it, and if he meant it, 100% he should be stripped to the captaincy. Of course he should, but I don't think he did. I don't think there's anything malice about it. I think, it's just a mistake of which has come from his former partner, evidently, and she needs a good hand slap. What are you doing? Poor from you. But let me know what you think in the comment section below, everybody. Are you bothered? Are you not? Let's keep it above board and respectful in the chat. See you in a bit.